Unmasking the garden wisdom that may be hindering your yield. Are you sabotaging your own success with the tried and true garden wisdom that we used to get? Well, come on, let's protect your garden. While explaining the garden, I boiled this down into 4 pillars. It's really, really simple. You pile up mulch, you plant, and you pick. But then you need to protect that. And today, we're going to look at protecting your garden. Partially because you've been taught a bunch of stuff you really don't need to do, and it really hurts your production. Partly because here in Zone 7, we got 2 to 4 weeks, and we're going to get hit with the first frost. And it's not going to look like this anymore. So how do we protect it? There's a lot of ways to garden. And like I've always said, I would never tell another adult how to garden. If you like your results, that's wonderful. There's a lot of methods out there, and I didn't want to weed anymore, and I came up with the deep mixed mulch. And then by boiling it down into these 4 pillars, I realized it didn't necessarily apply to the garden alone. It could apply to business, it could apply to life. And protecting, that's a really good metaphor for what you need to do in life. We set a boundary around the garden to keep the big critters out. Just like in life, we set boundaries around what we do and how we live. There's a lot of ways to look at protection in the garden, whether you're talking about pests, whether you're talking about the life in the soil, whether you're talking about deer coming in and eating your okra. You know, in a deep mixed mulch garden, I've learned that you have to share. So you have to know what your level of comfort is as far as how much you're willing to share. And that'll dictate what your comfort level is as far as the protection you want to bring in. And protection covers a lot of different areas. I plant really heavy because I know I'm going to share some with the bugs. I could come out here with sprays, but then I wouldn't have the butterflies. I wouldn't have the other pollinators. So I'm willing to share a little bit of my garden. Sharing is another metaphor about how deeply you want to protect yourself in life. You can lock yourself down so tight, but you never enjoyed it, you never helped anybody else. How much do you want to lock down? How much do you want to protect your garden? Those are all personal choices about how much you're willing to share. Now that's just one example, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying run out there and give all your money away. What I am saying is, like right here in the garden, something has eaten the top of this carrot, but I want the carrot. Just look at that. The 2-legged carrot. So we did share, but I still reap the rewards. I'm still going to be able to enjoy this. Now, I was talking to a lady, and she was telling me, being a child, she never thought she was going to be able to get another toy, so she never took them out of the box. But then she relied on somebody else to protect them, and they got lost. She never enjoyed them, and they disappeared. So you do want to have some kind of protection, and you do want to have boundaries. And it really doesn't take Fort Knox. The simple word of no, that's a 1-word sentence, and it carries a lot of weight. And you don't have to be selfish, and you don't have to be cruel. But by protecting yourself within your own tolerance, that sets a boundary that nobody can cross. Now, I'm collecting and processing seeds as a way to protect the legacy. The plants that you like, you take those seeds off those, and unless there's some kind of weird genetically modified deal, you get back to the original heirloom and you continue to protect that. That's legacy. And what did the Bible say about hiding a light under a bushel? There's nothing wrong with sharing a little bit. And you can do that ethically without being taken advantage of. Of course, everybody's journey is a little different, and everybody's faced different challenges. And that's why I say you got to know what your tolerance is for sharing. Right now, we've got a pretty good harvest of amaranth coming up. I'm going to have enough to plant, I'm going to have enough to give away, and I'm going to have more than enough to eat. That's a pretty good batch. Still needs a little cleaning. And I got a whole bunch more to harvest. There is one element of protection that is highly personal, and that involves trust. Unfortunately, there are predators out there. There are people out there that take advantage of kindness. They see it as weakness. But living surrounded by concertina wire and armed observation posts, that's a tough way to live. We know bad things happen in the world. That's why we have insurance. That's for everything from your business to your personal life. The amount of trust that each one of us has is based off of what we've experienced in the world. Protection isn't static. It changes with the need. In a garden, a simple wire basket over a seedling will keep like grasshoppers or some of the other things from trying to gnaw it down before it gets big enough to support itself. I remember learning how to ride a bike. You know the training wheels? This was back before we had helmets, but those training wheels kept the skin on my knees and off the driveway. But it was scary to take those off. Pretty quick, I didn't need them anymore. Everybody's not out to get you, just like in the garden. The wisdom that's been passed down, they were doing the best that they could do with the information that they had. Now, as far as trusting a process, I just jumped into the deep mulch because I didn't want to weed anymore. But it's proved itself out. I'm not asking you to trust me on anything, but this is what I found out over life. I hate to use money as a parallel because it's not all about money, but it makes the point. I'm not even sure where I heard this, but you know, if you damage a dollar bill, you can take it to the bank and they'll replace it if it has over 50% left. So this farmer, he was trying to protect his life savings, and he hid it in the hay in the barn. Now his favorite cow ate it. When he discovered it, well, it was the first time that the bank had to take a cow's stomach and find the contents, and they were able to replace part of his money. So you got to be careful on what you're using to protect your stuff. And all I've tried to do in the garden, as in life, is come up with a nice balance so I can still enjoy the harvest, whether I share a little bit from time to time, intentionally or unintentionally. Now that's a carrot. In this framework, the pile, plant, and pick, that just keeps going. No matter where you are on your journey, you can get back on that cycle. The protect is open-ended because you don't always need the same protection all the time. Right here in the garden, I've got an electric fence on the outside because we have armadillos. And I've got a little board so that when they hit that, if they decide they want to try to get in the garden, they touch that, and you know what happens with this fence. Now, if you have a business, you've got to protect yourself all kind of ways. You incorporate, that's just good governance. You have health insurance for your employees. You've got liability insurance in case there's an accident. There's all kinds of things that you want to protect yourself with. In life, you get a car, you're going to insure that. You got a house, a mortgage, you're going to insure that. And to protect yourself in your personal life is the boundaries that you set. It's the relationships that you build. All of our experiences, they just teach us what kind of protection we should get. When the groundhog came under the wire, I just strengthened that fence. When the armadillo started plowing up the garden, I had to put in an electric fence. When the grasshoppers ate my carrots, I had to get a mesh cage. And if somebody steals from you, cheats you in business, takes your gum as a kid, those are all experiences that build your wisdom. Get a little protection. You can't stop all bad things, but you can definitely mitigate everything. And just like in the garden, you can do everything right and you still have a bad outcome. I had a friend of mine, he was telling me about his grandfather. He lost some money in a bank closure during the Depression, so he started saving his money at the house. When he passed away, the family They were cleaning out the barn, they found a loose board, and they found some money. They decided they better check around. So this man had, it wasn't a huge fortune, it was a pretty good amount of money, but he had it stashed here and there. He was so afraid he was going to lose it that it almost just disappeared. The family was able to get some of it, but the man never enjoyed any of it. And that's a hard thing. When betrayal takes and makes it so you can't trust anything, that all goes back to protection. So here in the deep mulch, I kind of have the idea of castor oil working on the voles, the fence keeping the deer out, but Chubby, that groundhog, he dug under that fence. Now some people would say go medieval. That gets back to what's your tolerance for sharing. So you have to balance your protection with what's going to give you a nice, comfortable life, what you can tolerate. You don't want to lose sleep over anything, but you want to be able to enjoy everything. And that's my message to you. Whether you're trying to keep the bugs out of the garden, whether you're trying to keep your relationship together, you're trying to grow your business, you have to have some kind of protection, but you don't have to have Fort Knox, and you can still thrive. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.